Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha Stunvanti Divyaistavaihi Vedai Sankapadakramopaniषदैहि Gayanti Yam Samaga Dhyanavasthitatgyatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yogino Yashyantam Navidashurashuragana Devaya Tasmai Namaha. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. Atha Ashtadashodhyayah. Moksha Asakta Buddhi Sarvatra Asakta Buddhi Jitatma Vigataspriha. So the person who has practiced all these things, that is Asakta Buddhi, that is with everybody, Sarvatra, everywhere. Jitatma, that is, he is able to control the mind. He could win over the mind. Vigataspriha, completely desire has been removed. So this fellow, what he says is, Jnana Yogana, after this, by practicing Jnana Yogana, Naishkarmya Siddhim Paramam. So he attains the Naishkarmya Siddhi. What is the Naishkarmya Siddhi? We saw in the last class. So it is an ultimate destination. Before that, the purification of mind by practicing Karma Yoga, that is the intermediary, you can say, stage or destination. After that, the self-knowledge or Atma Jnanam, which is the ultimate destination, this person attains by Jnana Yoga. That's what we saw in the 49th verse. So what does it mean? His attainment is something like this. I am the changeless consciousness. When thoughts are completely absent, it is consciousness. When thoughts are there, we call it mind. It is mind. The thoughts are triggered by desires, likes and dislikes, attachment. All these things. See, Karma Yoga, it's a sort of training, or it is an indirect method to purify the mind by removing the likes and dislikes which we have accumulated. See how this, we have to remember this, how this likes and dislikes we collect. Every experience, when it enters, we have seen many times, the body, through the 5 sense organs, it enters any experience. And when this reaches the mind, it leaves only 2 types of resultants. One is like, another is dislike. You can say sukha, dukkha, like that. So it's collected and accumulated. So this, in meditation, we try to be without thoughts, at least for a few minutes. By this practice, once the consciousness is, I can use the word experience. That is, when I become that pure consciousness, after removing all thoughts, we call it experience. Experience means to be that. Then it will be clearly understood that this pure consciousness, it is there not only during the absence of thoughts, but even when the thoughts are present. That means the clarity comes. Whatever we see, whether through eyes, whatever is perceived, always the consciousness is present. So this we slowly understand. So from verse 50 to 55, Krishna condenses Jnana Yoga. All these five are very interesting. So let's take 50. Siddhim prapto yata brahma tatapnoti nibodhame samasenaiva kaunteya nishtha jnanasya ya para. Siddhim prapto yata brahma tatapnoti nibodhame samasenaiva kaunteya nishtha jnanasya ya para. Kaunteya, O Arjuna, briefly know from me how one who has attained purity, he attains Brahman, which is supreme culmination of knowledge. With the previous verse, Krishna concluded the topic of Karma Yoga, which started from verse number 40. And at the concluding verse, that is the last verse, Krishna said, Arjuna, you cannot end your sadhana with Karma Yoga. See, you have to go to or take up Jnana Yoga also to attain liberation. So Krishna now condenses Jnana Yoga in the verses from 50 to 55. It is not enough that I know that consciousness is different from the body. It is not enough. I have to regularly practice. I am not the body. Body is only a temporary medium. I am the consciousness principle and I am transacting through the body. Only then I will be free from the fear of death, because we clearly understand I am dead and I have no birth nor death. So, thus, my real nature, I have to regularly claim, that is, claim my real nature. That requires quality time. And therefore, Krishna suggests, allot some quality time for Vedantic meditation. Without Sravana, Nididhyasanam is impossible. And without Nididhyasanam, Sravana is incomplete. That is, we should know the theory, Krishna. After studying, understanding Gita, that is Sravana, through Sravana and Manana. But it is not enough. So, without this, we can't directly do Nididhyasana. And if you don't do Nididhyasanam, Sravana is incomplete. Though, therefore, all the three are important. Shravanam, Mananam and Nididhyasanam. So, in verses 50 to 55, Krishna is highlighting the Nididhyasanam part. Otherwise called Vedantic meditation. In Gita, Vedantic meditation has elaborately discussed in chapter 6, Dhyana Yoga or Atma Samyama Yoga. Now let us take this sloka which we just now read. That is sloka number 50. Siddhim praptah. A seeker attains siddhi. Siddhi means purity of mind. That is jnana yogyata. Only when we get our mind is pure, we are eligible to take up jnana yoga. So jnana yoga also this practice gives. We can call it Vedantic qualification, preparatory qualification. So the siddhi means these things, and it is attained by following karma yoga, and after that saha brahma apnoti. Through karma yoga he has attained siddhi, which is preparatory qualification. And through jnana yoga, Brahma apnoti. Brahma, normally Brahma means here Brahman only. He attains Brahman because through jnana yoga, he gains the knowledge that Brahman is not different from me at all. That is the knowledge he gets by practicing jnana yoga. It will be a very great revelation because through jnana yoga, he comes to know, that is the person who practices jnana yogi, comes to know that whatever I have been seeking, they are not available outside. That is my first discovery. Peace will not come from outside. Ananda will not come from outside. Whatever Ananda seems to come from outside, it is a sort of fake Ananda. Real Ananda never comes from outside. Similarly, security will not come from outside. So this is the first discovery. Because these are all my nature already. And this is the next discovery. That is, whatever we saw now, security, this Ananda and peace, they are already my nature. Shanti is my Swarupam. Security is my Swarupam. Ananda is also my Swarupam. So we must recall that 5 Vedantic capsules which we have been now and then discussing. So I am of the nature of pure and eternal consciousness. Therefore, I am the only source of peace, happiness, and security. And other things we know. That means in my presence, the world appears, and I give life to everything in the world. And whatever happens in the world, they don't affect me at all. If I remember this, life is an entertainment. If I forget this, life is a burden. These are the 5 capsules, Vedantic capsules, which you have been seeing. So, this person who attains them through knowledge, jnanasya nishtha. That's what is given in the 50th verse. Not only he attains jnanam by the practice of jnana yoga, he attains jnana nishtha. The word nishtha means spontaneity. Jnana nishtha means spontaneity in knowledge. And what is meant by this spontaneity in knowledge? It means whatever in life, difficult situation, that is once in a while it comes, or whenever a crisis or problem comes in life, Vedanta must be available to help without any difficulty. It must be easily and effortlessly accessible to me. So this spontaneity can be defined as effortless accessibility of this knowledge whenever there is crisis in my life. The Vedantic wisdom should be available when there is crisis. Vedanta should come to my rescue. If this happens, Vedanta has worked. That means I understood clearly. So this is called Jnana Nishtha. Therefore, through Jnana Yoga, one attains Brahman. One attains Jnana Nishtha. That is Brahma Prapti or Jnana Nishtha Prapti. Both are same. So, Arjuna, I shall tell you how through Jnana Yoga one will attain the Nishtha. And he says, Samasena Nibodhame. I am going to summarize this Jnana Yoga. So we will go to 51, sloka 51. Buddhya vishuddhaya yukto dhrityatmanam niyamya cha shabdhadin vishayans tyaktva ragadvesham vyutasya cha buddhya vishuddhaya yukto dhrityatmanam niyamya cha shabdhadin vishayams tyaktva ragadvesho vyutasya cha. So, the meaning is endowed with clear intellect, having restrained the mind by will, having renounced the sense objects like sound, etc. Shabdhaji. One should give up likes and dislikes. After understanding this clearly, Krishna presents Shravana and Manana in 3 words. Visuddhaya Buddhaya Yuktaha. May you go through Shravana first, that is the study of Upanishads or study of Vedanta very clearly. Krishna says, through Shravana and Manana, you should gain doubtless knowledge. Doubtless knowledge of your real nature. This doubtless knowledge is called here Visuddhaya Buddhi. Visuddha means clear, doubtless. Of course, Buddhi means here knowledge. You should have a doubtless knowledge, that is doubtless Buddhi. That is an intellect which has got knowledge without any doubt. And this is possible only through systematic Sravana and Manana. Then it says, Dhrityatmanam niyamyacha. If you have to spend time upon Vedantic teaching, we should feel its worth. If Vedantic meditation, if it has to naturally happen, Vedanta must be a thing that I value. Dhritya, by the willpower, I discover the value of Vedanta and turn my mind towards the teaching. So Dhriti means Buddhi Nishchaya, that the Vedantic meditation will be useful to me. This Nishchayam should be there. That means I must be, that is, the Dhriti is conviction regarding the worth of Vedantic meditation. Otherwise, we should not take it as a sort of time pass and let us also learn. We should know its value. Therefore, Dhrityatmanam. Here, Atma means the mind and the sense organs. Niyamya means turning away from worldly thoughts. Then Shabdhadin, Vishayams Tatva. Turn the sense organs from the corresponding sense objects, like it was just now Shabdhadin, Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, and Gandha. So you drop at least at the time of meditation for 15 to 20 minutes. Turn the sense organs away, that means. Then Ragadvesho Vyudasya. Make sure that you have handled the problem of Raga and Dvesha, because the mind will only go to such things where you have raga and dvesha. Raga dvesha are responsible for dragging the mind towards a thing. And therefore, we must learn to transcend our raga dvesha. In fact, this must have been practiced even at the time of Karma Yoga. Every experience creates raga dvesha. Just now we saw in the mind. We say, dedicate everything to God and all, even the results. Prasada buddhi and all this thing. How it happens? Not allowing this, that is raga dvesha, to happen by samatva buddhi. So the samatva buddhi, because of, by practicing that, when we say samatva buddhi, if something nice happens, we should not get, we should not get elated. Other way also, we shouldn't get depressed if it is not a favorable result. That means what? When we don't react, it goes to the consciousness, that is God. That is dedication to God means that only. The bhoktritva slowly is reduced. Vyudasya means transcend. Do not allow them to disturb you in meditation. Even we must see, even while chanting Vishnu Sahasrama or Lalita Sahasrama, these thoughts, once in a while, they do come. Especially if you have some serious agenda that day, it will come and disturb you. That is due to raga dvesha towards that particular aspect. So it does come. So we have to see, practice, at least for the 20 or 25 minutes without any thought. That it's an excellent practice. So other aspects of this Vedantic meditation we'll see from verse 52. Vivikta sevi lagvasi yadavakaya manasah dhyana yoga paro nityam vairagyam samupasritah. Vivikta sevi lagvasi yadavakaya manasah dhyana yoga paro nityam vairagyam samupasritah. So resorting to secular place, or no, secluded place, whichever is away from the city or from home or wherever it is, we go to a secluded place, taking limited food, restraining the speech, the body and the mind, taking to detachment. One should be ever devoted to dhyana yoga. This is the meaning. See, this is, resorting to means, see, going to a place like forest and all, in those days they were doing. But even here, within the city, there are some places where you can practice. Even, for example, even here there is no disturbance because everything else is taken care. So we can practice this dhyana yoga continuously, even for quite a lot of 1 or 2 hours. There is no problem. So vivikta sevi. Choose a relatively secluded place where the external disturbances will be minimum. So Vivikta means secluded place. Being alone is facing my own mind, facing my own anxieties and concerns. So Vivikta Sevi is the one who resorts to aloneness, loneliness. Lagvasi, eating in moderation. Because only when the stomach is not full, the mind will work well. Then, yata vak kaya manasaha. That is learning to master all the organs. Vak means organ of speech. Kaya means physical body. Manasam means the mind. All of them are yatam. Yatam means withdrawn from the external world. See, even Ramana, in Madurai he got that revelation. Or even then, he went to Tiruvannamalai and he went to that place called that Padala Lingam. There is a place, below ground level. There he sat for nearly, it seems, 23 days without, in fact, any food or other things. So that even, what I'm telling you, even after attaining, he had to practice this. So during, especially after Manana, the Nididhyasana is very important. That's why Krishna says you have to spend quality time for this. Yata vak kaya manasaha. That means withdrawing from the external world. Vairagyam samupasritaha. Resorting to detachment. Everything will be, that means detachment means what? Everything will be perfectly fine. Everything will be perfectly perfect without my presence. So this is Vairagyam, Mupasa. Otherwise we will see when we go there what will happen to this family, place and so many things. So don't bother, everything will be fine. That sort of Vairagyam. So that's what here in this particular context it's meant. With this, you have got a free body, free sense organs, free mind and free buddhi. Use that time for dwelling upon the Shastram, whatever we have learned. Therefore, Krishna says, Para. Paraha means be committed, be sincerely and wholeheartedly committed to the sadhana. That is Vedantic meditation. What is the substance of meditation? There is one truth behind God, behind the world, and behind the body-mind complex. And that one truth is I, the Satchidananda Atma. So this I, the consciousness, is substratum of the body, the world, and even the God's body. So dwelling upon this truth is called Dhyana Yoga Paratvam, with dedication, commitment. And we should very carefully, here we have to remember or note, Vedantic meditation is not a thoughtless state. So we dwell upon Aham Brahmasmi. That is, we think about that. How we will see in the next verse. So it's not just thoughtless state. See, the thoughtless state we can practice to understand what is that pure consciousness means. Even though every day it happens in the deep sleep. Actually, during sleep there is no even space and time. So we are with real ourselves only. But there the other problems are there which we won't discuss now because it is due to tamoguna. So the darkness also is there. But awareness is total. That is, we are not able to appreciate that. So in this type of Vedantic meditation, that awareness also will be there. We will see what 53. Ahankaram balam darpam kamam krodam parigraham vimuchya nirmama shanto brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Ahankaram balam darpam kamam krodam parigraham vimuchya nirmama shanto brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Having given up egoism, power, balam, arrogance, desire, anger, and possession, being free from mind, notion, and remaining tranquil, one becomes fit for becoming Brahman. And during the practice of the Vedantic meditation, many emotional disturbances can happen. Krishna talked about certain traits which will disturb the mind. And therefore, they have to be weeded out. It is again explained in this verse. The first one is Ahankara. Ahankara means Anatma Abhimana, strong identification with the body. A Vedantic seeker should never encourage this. He has to repeatedly remind the body has come from Panchabhutas. It is a temporary gift given for Vedantic study. And after using the body, I have to return it to the Panchabhutas. And that is why there is a repeated reminder is given by applying ash, so that we will be told that the body will be reduced to ash one day. In Vaishnava Sampradayam also, Thirman, that is also man. So, we should not get attached to our body. You have to protect the body, but you cannot get attached to it. And this Deha Abhimana is called ahankara. Then balam. Balam means power. Holding on to the power and position, either in an organization or even in the family itself. I do not want to give up my power, even though the next generation has come. So balam means attachment to power, holding on to power. Next is darpam. Darpam means arrogance. If I have accomplished something in life, like few awards or degrees, or I am self-made man, so give up this arrogance, which is something like a self-trumpeting and all these things. So this is darpam here. Then kamam, materialistic desires, ended. They are endless. Then krodham, whatever kama or whenever kama comes, the krodham is bound to be there. Kama means expectation. When expectations are there, I become irritable person. Because I don't want any this thing come in between. So this is krodham. So kama means it always ends in krodham. Then parigraham. Parigraha means possession. In Vedanta, it is said, bigger the possession or more the possession, greater the distraction. And therefore, apagriha or simple life is always prescribed, especially for a spiritual seeker. Then nirmama, not only give up deha abhimana, you should also give up the abhimana towards the possessions. That is mamakara. So ahankara and mamakara. So the difference between aparigraha and nirmama is, aparigraha is reducing the possessions. And even that is reducing possession, I will have to hold on to minimum possession. Even for sannyasis, some possessions is always there. Towards that possession, the attitude presented here is nirmama. Even towards the maximum, the possession, do not develop too much ownership. That is nirmama. Even second chapter, I think, last but one sloka. Nirmamo nirahankaraha shantimati gacchati. So this ahankara and mamakara, it has been coming every now and then in Gita. So then, after this control, what will happen? Shantaha, the mind will be naturally tranquil. Lord Krishna is summarizing the Jnana Yoga sadhana, which consists of these stages. The first stage being Sravanam, which is systematic study of the Vedantic scriptures. And the second stage is Mananam, through which we clear all the doubts with regard to the teaching and make the knowledge into sort of, a conviction, doubtful knowledge. And the final step of sadhana, which is the most important stage, I have to constantly monitor my thoughts, words I speak and deal, and make sure that there is no gap between what I know, that is what I have learned, and what I am. Thus, an alert life is a part of nididhyasana. That is, dwelling upon the teaching is a part of nididhyasana. It's called interactional sadhana, alertness all the time, watching the mind, thoughts, action, all the speech, watching that and see. In fact, it is a continuous sort of sadhana or meditation. You can call it even interactional meditation, all the time alert. And Krishna presents Vedantic meditation as Samadhi Abhyasa. It is also a form of nididhyasana. In Vedantic meditation, I turn my mind away from all other things and exclusively dwell upon the teaching. And Krishna said, having observed all these conditions, Nityam Dhyana Yoga Paraha Bhavet. That is the crucial thing. Dhyana Yoga Paraha means one should be committed to the meditation upon the teaching. Para means it is not a casual approach, but one should be sincere and serious. Vimuchya nirmama shanto. If a person practices this Vedantic meditation for a considerable time, then Brahmabhuyaya kalpate. He learns to disidentify from the superficial personality. We can call it ahankara. That is inferior I, the lower I, the changing I, consisting of physical body, mind, and the physical body-mind complex. And the person learns to disidentify from this finite I and learns to identify with the higher I, which is nothing but the Chaitanya Tattvam, the consciousness principle. In Nididhyasanam, what we do, instead of using the word it, we must train ourselves using the word I. That means I am not part, product or property of this body. I am not. No, I am an independent, formless consciousness which pervades and enlivens the body. You have to say this body, enlivens this body. And I am not limited by the boundaries of the body. And I continue to survive even after the fall of the body. I, the surviving consciousness, am not accessible through this body, but I continue to be accessible through innumerable other bodies. Thus, I am space-like, all-pervading, formless, all-accommodating consciousness principle. This I have to drill into my mind until it becomes spontaneous to me. And the moment I learn to identify with formless consciousness, I can very boldly claim Aham Brahmasmi after this practice. Until I spontaneously identify with Chaitanyam, I will not be comfortable with Aham Brahmasmi. Otherwise, we go on chanting, it should be identified. Ramana says, Bhava Balatinal, after practicing this Bhava, that Bhava Balatinal, Bhavanatita, you come out of this, even this Bhava. Bhava Balatinal, Bhavanatita, Sadbhava Tirukale Undipara. So, all the time, I am in Sadbhava. So, that is what is talked about here. So, Brahma Bhoyaya Kalpate. Such a meditator, Kalpate, is fit to become one with Brahman. Such a person is fit to become or merge or one with Brahman. Therefore, Brahma Bhoyaya. Bhoyaya means Bhavam. So, Brahma Bhoyaya means Brahma Bhavam. Brahma Tattvam means Brahma Aikyam. Brahma Aikyam means oneness with Brahman. See, we, right from young age, the body consciousness is, we don't think that I am a body like this. We don't identify, we identify, but every time we don't have to tell. Similar thing happen here. That is, whenever I say I mean the consciousness, Brahman or Atma, I am acting through the body. We need not be going on telling that Bhavam, that to be like that is emphasized here. Bhavam means you have to go on thinking. That should stop and be like that all the time means we don't have to tell that it should remain in the mind. That is that Nishtha. It was mentioned that we can say that then only it will come whenever there is some problem in life. So that is the thing talked about in this verse. And see, immediate thought is no, this and may not be possible and all, everything. See, everything, if you go in depth, Raga Dvesha, how to live without Raga Dvesha, how to live without desire and all. It definitely, there is no question of possibility. When you are detaching from, disidentifying from the body consciousness, these are all automatic, like in sleep. Nothing is there in sleep. So the Brahma Bhava, it is, when it is all the time, it is remaining, all these things, it doesn't, even though it is there, it doesn't bother us. That is the thing. Only when identified with body, the body may, because, see, once it has, this thing has happened, automatically, the thoughts also will slowly change. Most of the time, we will be in that sattvic state. Most of the time, because of this understanding. It is there in third chapter, last but one, sloka. Indriyani param yahu, indriyebhya param manaha, manasatsu param. So the para is that one is above all these things. Once it is understood, after practicing, Krishna says, then automatically your Rajoguna and all, it won't come near. So that's what is talked about here. So this practice, which is, it depends on the sincereness, and as it is told here, that conviction should be there. Yes, it is good, it is definitely its value, I understand like that. So, see, this by practice means indirect methods are there all the time, the routine practicing. See, when we are in an ashram, it's all the time that bhava or the sattvika stage, it continuously it is there. So everything looks simple, whether it is raga, dvesha, or desire and all this thing. It's, in fact, next verse, we go still deeply. So that we will see next week. So this we have to clearly understand, and even practice after some time not required. In fact, when we start practice, that means it is not understood. It's changing attitude. We will see in the next this one. It is something like when we sleep and then get up, automatically that sleeper, he becomes waker. It is automatic. Similarly, when we have to do certain things, the body consciousness is there. Afterwards, it comes back to it's so automatic. So this is the sort of thing talked about here. So we'll see in the probably next week. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om